Hey folks, it's Nick Granville. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey, so today I thought let's do a lesson on arpeggios and how we can kind of incorporate these into jazz fusion. Certain little things I do, and a way to make it really easier. You really just need three little boxes, if you want to call it that. Let's dive in. First place to start. What is an arpeggio, right? Or arpeggio, as Americans would say. Well, it's just the spelling of a chord. So if I play an A minor chord, for example, something like this, right? If I spell that out, A, C, E, I've played the arpeggio, right? In that case, a triad arpeggio. But really, to me, most of the time, I think through to the seventh. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. A minor 7, right? And to me that's an arpeggio, right? It's a spelling of the chord. Right, so through to the 7th is how I view most of them, right? So let's start there. So if we think major, it'll be 1, 3, 5, 7. Alright, 1, 3, 5, 7 of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, if we want minor, same thing, flat and 3rd, flat and 7th. And then dominant, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. So that's pretty basic kind of information, right? You can find that all over the place. What I find more useful, particularly for playing fusion stuff, is going through to the 9th, because the 9th is a lot of times where there's certain colors and things that exist, especially on the dominants. So if I play the major, 1, 3, 5, and 7 of the scale. If I go 8, 9, the 9 in this case will be a B. That's a far more useful sound to me for fusion playing on a major chord. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And then let's do it up an octave. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And the 3rd position. All right. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Right, so we essentially have 3 octave positions that I use regularly. 1, 2, 3. Hey, before I go any further, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you don't subscribe, then what will happen is the DJ is going to steal all your gigs. So just remember that. So, and back to the lesson. And out of that, I've kind of got a position somewhere around here and a position somewhere around here. It's super useful, right? It's a good way of kind of mapping out the fretboard, and it's a simple thing that most people can understand, right? And if we do the same thing, we can do the same thing with minor. That ends up being our shape. Our next one. And our last one. Or you can play the minor 3rd here or here, it doesn't matter. And let's adjust it to be dominant. So now I have major up to the 9th, minor up to the 9th, and dominant up to the 9th, right? Out of that, I can pretty much play anything now, right? There's any kind of tune. Say I needed a dominant 7, flat 9. So flat 5, flat 9, let's go with that. 1, 3, flat 5, I take the 5th, and I flatten it. Flat 7, flat 9. Right? There was our 9th, I flatten it and play it there. Do the same up an octave. You can see how I can take a little bit of information and it can become very broad very quick. Say I wanted major 7, sharp 5. That kind of sound. One thing to remember if we're playing fusion music or any kind of music really, we're not limited to just running up and down this arpeggio, right? That's not music. You know, we want to be able to play this stuff everywhere. And the great thing about this on guitar is it's movable, right? If I'm in the key of D, well, my root position's going to be here, right? But I can also have D here as well, right? That being my dominant shape. Right? So wherever I'm playing, it gives me options. I have the low octave, I have the higher octave, and then I have an alternate position somewhere else that, you know. An important consideration with all this stuff is how you voice lead. So for example, if I had an A7 chord going to a D7 chord, in that case I played A13 to D9, color it as you will, but it's really just A7 to D7. All right. I can go A dominant 9, and then my D7. So for me, I would look at how those connect. Right, that's the flat 7 of that note right there, right? And you saw there, I made a point of this note being the same as this note, right? Like, because both of them have an E note in it. And that was just simply going from an A7 to a D7. And I'm looking for connections between those things, right? To voice lead, to connect, and that's musical, right? Rather than just running up and down arpeggios or scales. That's boring. Don't do that. Right, so as discussed, we have 3 options for places to do that. That simplifies things. I think a lot of times with guitar, what happens is people look at stuff and they go, well, I have a range from here to here. I've got all these options in between and everything, and they get confused and like, where do you start? Start simple. Start with 3 shapes. And then put it into real music. So I'll give you an example. This is just a tune of mine. It's yet to be released. It's just a chord progression. That's a 2-5, so F minor to B flat. Right, so what's the next step? Well, the next step for if you want to take this stuff further is, of course, to start, put it into tunes, do all that kind of stuff. But then you might start to break out from just having 3 ways to play this, right? My major can also be, instead of, right? Just an alternate way of playing the same thing. So that gives me another option that might be useful, right? Instead of. And the idea of like expanding that stuff and having more than just the 3, right? Get the 3 down first, make sure you know that, but expanding it to all the other positions around here is we want to have no gaps. That's ultimately the goal, isn't it? We want to have no gaps in our playing. That it's this complete thing and we know it. Because as far as I'm concerned, the more you learn about this, the better. Hey look, drop a comment below. Hey look. Dog. Hey, drop a comment below if you'd like me to do more on these arpeggios and this sort of fusiony stuff. I've kind of been doing a bit on my channel, and feedback I've got from people is that generally there's not a lot of good stuff on YouTube about fusion. So I thought, well, that's something that I do, so let's go down that road a little more. Hey, thanks very much. If you've made it this far, then you've made it to the end of the video, and I appreciate you doing so. PayPal is linked below if you want to make a donation to help me keep doing this, or buy me a coffee for those that are into that kind of thing. That's also linked below. You can get my album. It's free. Go to Bandcamp. Really proud of it. Did it with some amazing musicians. We recorded in Los Angeles. It's sort of funky fusion stuff, Schofield influenced, Scott Henderson influences, things like that. There's a bit of Thundercat kind of influence. So if you're into that sort of thing, you'll enjoy Reamped. See you in the next video. Cheers.